Hello there guys, and welcome to another Explain 12 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Reality Expansion Pack by SimCoders for the default Beech Baron 5A. The Reality Expansion Pack does to the default aircraft what A2A did to the aircraft in FSX and P3D. Essentially, it enhances the flight and ground dynamics, the default piston engine, the electrical system, the landing gear, and many other aspects of the airplane, adding things such as real-world physics, new stereo sounds, and extra 3D elements. The Reality Expansion Pack, aka REP, also provides a damage system, a maintenance hangar, and an interactive ground checks to really enhance your experience and increase the level of immersion and realism in the sim. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the features that the Reality Expansion Pack brings to this default Beech Baron 5A for Explain 12. Once you have successfully installed the Reality Expansion Pack, you are able to access the control panel by hovering the mouse on the left side of the screen. You have access to the knee board, mass and balance, the walk-around feature, the tow, the maintenance report, as well as the automatic engine start wizard. The knee board contains the aircraft checklist for normal operations, emergency procedures, as well as the reference card for the speeds. The normal operations checklist provides you with everything you need to operate the aircraft from the before start all the way to shutdown procedures. The emergency procedures are also included in case you encounter an emergency. From the mass and balance, you are able to load the aircraft with passengers, cargo, fuel, and visually inspect the center of gravity envelope to ensure your maximum takeoff and landing weights are safe for the operation of the aircraft. The walk-around feature gives you the ability to do a full walk-around in accordance with the pilot operating handbook. You are actually able to interact with the ground elements, removing the static elements, removing the chocks, as well as the tie-downs for increased realism. As you can see here, it shows you the entire sequence of the walk-around and lets you interact with the ground elements. The tow feature turns your pitch roll axis of the joystick to a tow truck that allows you to move the aircraft, as you can see here. With the Reality Expansion Pack installed, your aircraft will tear and wear. Not following proper procedures for startup, takeoff, landing, and shutdown will affect your aircraft. You may have to replace some of the components with continued abuse. As you can see, there are a host of options here that are monitored by the Reality Expansion Pack. The cylinders, the compression, oil fluid, the quantity, the available oil types, the filters, propellers, and so on and so forth. Everything you do actually affects the aircraft, and you'll be very pleased to know that even the oil type used will affect the operation of the aircraft. For example, the SAE 10W30 oil type is used only for winter operations. The viscosity of the oil is actually simulated, and using different oil type for the wrong season will affect the performance of the aircraft. Cycling through the pages here, you can see there are a number of upgrades available for your engine. With the Reality Expansion Pack, your Beech Baron 5.8 is equipped with a preheater to warm up your aircraft on a cold winter day before departure. Further, on the winterization kit, you are also able to mount a cowl fairings for your aircraft. The electrical system is fully simulated aboard your Beech Baron 5.8, and you will have to recharge your battery in case it gets discharged. As you can see, the avionics system is fully simulated, and abuse of your avionics systems will cause them to fail, which you will then have to repair. Additionally, all the major aircraft instruments are fully simulated and monitored by the Reality Expansion Pack. Moreover, the landing gear and braking system is fully modeled and monitored by the Reality Expansion Pack, as you can see here. You'll be also very pleased to know that the Reality Expansion Pack comes with a standalone economy system where replacing parts of your aircraft will cost you money. You will have to earn some money to be able to replace those parts. It is also fully compatible with FS Economy system as well as XCPL Pilot. The time has come for us now to put the Reality Expansion Pack to the test. We are going to start the aircraft from its cold and dark state, taxi to the runway, take off, and we're going to fly around the area and bring it back and land. In the interest of time, I have performed the aircraft walk-around. I have also checked the fuel and oil levels and ensured that everything is in tip-top shape for our flight. I have removed the flight yoke for better visibility. We're going to ensure first that all the switches are in the off position. Next, we're going to make sure that the mixture, prop, and the throttle are all in the idle position. Next, we're going to turn the fuel selectors to the on position for the right wing and the left wing. Take notice of the beautiful 3D stereo sounds aboard the aircraft with the Reality Expansion Pack. Next, we're going to make sure that the cowl flaps are open. Next, we're going to turn the battery and the left and right alternators. Next, we're going to turn on our beacon lights. We are now ready to start the aircraft engines. We're going to begin with the right engine first. We're going to set the mixture to full rich, prop to full forward, and we're going to crack the throttle about 1/4 of an inch, like so. And now we are going to turn on the fuel boost pump, and we're going to watch the fuel flow. As soon as it reaches the maximum, we are going to turn it off. Let's go ahead and do that. That's good. And now we can start the right engine. And as you can see, we have a good start. I'm going to leave the mixture on full rich, and we're going to see what happens when we start the left engine. So let's repeat the same steps for the left engine. We're going to put the mixture on full rich, prop full forward, and we're going to turn on the fuel boost pump. You can see the fuel flow. That's good. And now we'll start the left engine. Now the aircraft is in prop full forward and the mixture is full rich, and I'm going to increase the throttle a little bit here. Nice sounds. And now I'm going to idle the power completely. Now let's see what happens as we have the mixture on full rich and the propellers full forward with the engine idling at about 1000 RPM. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to turn on our avionics. Nice sounds again when you turn the avionics, and we're going to turn on the panel switch here. So we have all our radios. Taxi lights are on, and we are now ready to taxi to the runway. As you can see now, we have the first tip from the Reality Expansion Pack informing us that our spark plugs are probably failing due to the power and mixture setting. It says set 800 RPM or more, or lean the mixture to avoid plug fouling during ground operations. Alright, let's go ahead and lean the mixture. And as you can see now, the message is gone and we are good to go. And so Reality Expansion Pack really provides you with a lot of tips to operate the aircraft properly, and with time you will develop the habit of following the correct procedures. Alright, let's go ahead and taxi to the runway. Parking brake is released, and we'll give it some power here, and let's taxi to the runway. I believe Laminar has done a very good job with the textures and the 3D modeling of this Beech Baron. It actually does look very good for a default aircraft. The textures are done nicely both inside and out. Maybe the exterior there can use some work, But overall, I'm very happy with how this aircraft looks, and definitely with the reality expansion pack, it really takes it to the next level. We are now ready for departure, and what we're going to do is turn on our strobe, our landing lights, taxi lights can go off, and we are good to go. We are now ready for takeoff. Let's give it full power, advancing the power slowly, and we will rotate at about 90 knots. Very nice engine sounds. Rotate. Pause, ready to climb. Gears going up. Start trimming the aircraft. The aircraft definitely has a lot of power. Alright, so now we are at about 1,000 feet or so. I'm going to go ahead and idle the power. Let's see what happens there. Alright, power to idle. And that's the gear horn warning sounding now. And that's the stall. And eventually the aircraft stalls, so we're going to pitch down, give it full power, and recover from the stall. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you, if we look at our RPM, the RPM is quite high. We're still in the green, but we're quite high, so I'm going to ease off on the power here. And we are going to reduce RPM, but before we do so, I'm going to turn on the prop sync. And message that we get from RAP says you should manually reduce the RPM difference below 25 before enabling the automatic prop synchronizer. So let's go ahead and turn off the synchronizer. There we go. And let's bring back the RPM. Alright, so now with the props back and the RPM going below 2500, let's go ahead and turn on the prop sync. And now, as you can see, we have the props synced. As long as this circle doesn't move, it means the props are synced, which they are now. The airport is now to our right, as you can see here. Right, in preparation for landing, we're going to put the props full forward, the mixture on full bridge. We're going to turn off the prop sync, and we have the runway in sight. Let's go ahead now and make our turn. We have the runway in sight. Landing gear is coming down. A little bit of turbulence here as we come into land. Keep it at about 100 knots or so. Alright, and first degree of flaps. Flaps full. And touchdown.
Negative 102 tower. Good morning.
As we taxi, we need to lean the mixture again. So let's go ahead and do that. And by the way, this aircraft looks very, very nice during nighttime. Let me change the time here real quick. Again, very nice lighting inside the cockpit during nighttime. We are back at the terminal here where we started. Let's bring the aircraft to a complete stop. Set the parking brake. Let's go ahead and shut down the aircraft. First, we're going to turn off the taxi light. We are going to turn off the panel lights. And we can now turn off the engines by putting the mixture on cutoff, props on cutoff, and now we can turn off. Now, as you can see here, it says never turn on or off the alternator when the avionics master switch is in the on position, or you may damage the radios. So that's another tip from the Reality Expansion Pack. We're going to go ahead and turn off the avionics, and we're going to turn off the alternators and the battery. And now the aircraft is in a completely dark, cold and dark state. The Reality Expansion Pack by SimCoders definitely delivers on what it promises to do. It will definitely enhance the realism and immersion and the overall flying experience with the default Beech Baron 5.8. In my view, it is well worth its price, and it receives the Q8 pilot approval and recommendations. This brings us to the conclusion of our review of the Reality Expansion Pack by SimCoders for the Laminar Research Default Beech Baron 5.8. If you have any questions as usual, please do post them in the comment section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.